How's it going, guys? This is Twister, and today I'm bringing you another GTA Online video, and this one is going to be another best cars countdown, because today we're going to be doing the best off-road cars in GTA Online. And when I say off-road cars, I mean the proper off-roaders. These are the cars that you can take pretty much anywhere on the map. Even if there isn't a road there, you can drive it up the mountains, along the hills, and pretty much just anywhere you can think of. So we'll actually start off this one with our 5th best off-road car, and that is actually the monster truck. So there are 2 monster trucks in this game. There's the Marshall and the Liberator, so pretty much either one of them, but I was just using the Marshall in this gameplay, and don't ask me why I've gone for the Columbia version. Shout out to anyone watching this video that might be from Columbia. But anyway, yeah, the Marshall, the monster trucks, and the Marshall and the Liberator, they are just really fun to drive. They've got huge wheels, as monster trucks do, and they can just tackle any road pretty much. The suspension's a little bit weird because of how big the wheels are. They don't really stick with the landings. Usually when you just land them off a little jump, they usually just stop dead. But they're still really fun to drive. They're so quick off the mark, and because of how huge the wheels and how high off the ground it is, it can tackle any bump. There's the little obstacles that a car might get stuck on. This thing will just drive over them completely. So it's a ton of fun to drive up the mountains, and they're really bouncy. But as you can see, when you do a landing like that, it does just stop dead. So that's one of the downsides, really. But yeah, I did want to include it as the number 5 because it might have been something you guys didn't really expect. Now on to our number 4 spot. I've gone with the Merryweather Mesa. This one's a really nice one. It probably, out of all of them, this one probably handles the best, but it's also quite light, so it can spin out easily on the little bumps and the little jumps on the off-road. You might be able to see from the gameplay, it can be a little twitchy, so it's not as stable as some of the other ones. You can roll it over quite easy, so you just got to be careful with driving it. But as pretty much all the vehicles count down, it is still really fun to drive. It's probably one with some of the most cool modifications on it. As a standard, you've got like the roll cage on it and everything. I think it just looks really good as an upgraded vehicle. You can throw some off-road tires on there. You can change the color of the roll cage and all the roll bars, and it actually looks pretty sweet. The old Jeep Wrangler. It's a really fun car to drive. You'll see me go down this mountain in a second. I start to pick up speed, and then I just completely throw myself off this mountain, and I think I do like 20 odd spins. It was absolutely crazy, but I don't flip over, I don't roll over, and it's a really awesome car just for doing stuff like that. I do flip over at the end, but then it just completely nails the landing, and then you can just carry on driving it just normally, like nothing ever happens. So it's a really cool car. It's really good for off-road races. You can drive it into water and it will not get damaged. It will just plow through the water and then back onto land, so like a little bit of a river. It just doesn't really bother this car at all. It's just so much fun. So there we go. There's the Merryweather Mesa in our number 4 spot. Now on to the number 3 spot. I've gone with the Vapid Sand King. Now this one is probably the most stable and probably one of the most reliable, as well as the fact that it's got a ton of really nice modifications on it. It's not the quickest, to be honest, but it really does power itself up the huge hills, and the all-wheel drive on this thing is absolutely immense. It doesn't really get stuck at all. I mean, this thing can be slowed down, but it can very rarely be actually stopped. The ditches and everything, it will just go over the ditches. It does jumps really gracefully as well. You'll see me, I go down this hill part, coming up to the jump, and it does the jump really nicely as well. So that's like a really cool factor of this car. I've actually gone for a really nice blue color and a blue and black, which is a bit like a Ford Raptor. It kind of takes after the Ford Raptor and a regular Ford Super Duty in real life, which is kind of cool. I would love a Ford Raptor in real life, like the Ford Raptor truck. I think it's just so nice for a Ford truck. So yeah, there's the Vapid Sand King. It does have like a short wheelbase version and a long wheelbase version. I prefer the long wheelbase version. I don't think it's as quick, but like I said, like any ditch and stuff, it just goes over the hills, goes over the ditches, takes any bumps. Like the suspension on this thing is absolutely crazy. Like it will not get stuck on anything. It will just drive over any other bumps that any car will get stuck on, which it just makes it an absolute beast in my opinion. So there we go. That's in our number 3 spot, and it is the Vapid Sand King. Now on to the number 2 spot, and this is probably my personal favourite off-road vehicle out of this countdown, but I don't think it's the best. I'll be getting on to why the number 1 spot is probably the best when we get to number 1, but it is the Rusty Rebel. This thing, like I said, it is probably my personal favourite, but I don't think it is the best. It's not the quickest. It doesn't handle too great. It can be quite nippy going up the mountains and stuff, but coming down them, it's really hard to control. Like, it doesn't slow down. Once it starts picking up speed going down a hill, it's absolutely crazy. But you'll be seeing in the gameplay as well now, like this thing can literally forge itself a path out of anything, any terrain at all, any mountains, any rocks. It will go over them like they weren't even there. So it's really awesome. I think it's one of the best looking off-roaders in the game, like a proper off-roader, that is. It's got tons and tons of visual modifications. I've actually gone for some neons as well, which you guys might not like, but I think it looks really nice with the sunset orange and the orange neons. I think this thing looks awesome. You've got you've actually got like all the bull bars and stuff modifications, and the spare tire on the back as well. I just think it looks awesome, and as you can see in the gameplay, we just climb to the top of this mountain like it's not even there, and there we go. There's the Rusty Rebel. However, for the number 1 spot, I have gone for the main beast itself, the Dubster 6x6. This thing is an absolute 6-wheel monster. It's the only 6-wheel car in the game, and it's so much fun. It can be really fast in a straight line when you've got power going to 6 different wheels. It climbs up the mountains with such speed that it's absolutely crazy. I even hit a tree there, and it just literally moved me to the side, and that's it. It couldn't stop me dead, because we're going at some really awesome speed going up these mountains. The handling on it can be quite shoddy in places. It struggles for traction. Like, you'll see me trying to go up the hills sometimes, but it can, throw you sideways. You go into a little bit of a drift because it cannot find the grip. But once it does get going, this thing is an absolute monster. It's another one that's got some really awesome modifications. I've gone for like a silver and black, like you would see this thing in real life. It is a real life 6x6 Mercedes. You can get this thing in real life, which is just so cool. I'd love one of these in real life. They would be absolutely crazy just to actually drive up mountains in real life. Imagine how cool that would be. But for the time being, I'm only going to be able to do that in GTA. But it's really heavy, which is, it's got its pros and its cons. The pros are, the straight line speed, the 6-wheel beastliness, and how fun it is to drive. Yeah, I did an awesome little flip there. I don't know, I wanted to throw that in the gameplay because I thought it looked quite cool. But yeah, as for the handling, it is really heavy. It doesn't handle too greatly. Sometimes you'll be trying to turn and it just doesn't want to turn. So it can be quite annoying sometimes. But I think overall, it is the absolute best for when you're doing proper off-roading such as this. Definitely the most fun, in my opinion. So there we go. There's my top 5 best cars for off-roading. The absolute best you can get when it comes to proper off-roading in GTA. There doesn't need to be a path there, but these cars can just go full pelt up the mountains and down the hills and all sorts of, just if you want to do general exploration, these are the cars you want to go for. So there we go. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Definitely let me know in the comments below what are your favourite off-roaders in GTA Online. I would love to hear some feedback from you guys. And with all that being said, like the video if you did enjoy it, subscribe if you are new, and I will hopefully see you all in my next video. See you later, guys.